So tell us a little bit more about this collection.
So the starting point, for me, the starting point is almost always a kind of romance about the future. In this season, I was looking closely at early UK rave subculture. For me, that's kind of really the fertile ground to explore this sort of strange intersection of a subculture with almost kind of sci-fi and new agey ideas, which sometimes are completely silly, but that's always a really interesting thing for me. Like, I feel like that kind of sense of romance about the future only bubbles up every now and then, and that was sort of a place where I found that this season. So early UK rave subculture, basically, in its early form. Yeah.
And what inspired your interest in that culture?
I'm a bit too young to have been there, but again, it's sort of like there's only a few places where those things converge, like a kind of like subcultural space and a kind of futurism, and I found that there.
How would you describe men who wear your collection?
I always think that the people who buy my collection, they're not really fashion people. They're not sort of, I kind of hope they're not. I always think that my clothes it's more about the brand and its own aesthetic, less about like a seasonal whatever trend or whatever is happening. So I kind of think that, for me, that's one of the great things about being a menswear designer, is that you're a little bit removed from that cycle, that fashion cycle. So yeah, I think that's my customer. I think he's also a bit removed from that fashion cycle.
But would you ever consider making a women's wear?
I have, and we still do, but really it's resized menswear. I think the approach to women's wear is a very different thing mentally, like it's just a very different thing, and I don't actually like it. I love making women's clothes, but they're not, I think when you are properly doing women's collections, you're sort of like churning out novelties every season, and it's a bit kind of, it's a bit childish in a way. It feels a bit childish. I think the menswear approach, where it's about kind of refining an aesthetic, developing a product, I don't know, it's a different mentality, and it's the mentality I prefer. Yeah.